With the history of award-winning audio, V-Moda has recently been releasing some limited edition designs of some of their more popular headphones. And we got our hands on the V-Moda Crossfade 2 Wireless Rolling Stones edition. There are 3 different colorways available, and so we're going to dive in and take a look at this $280 pair of headphones. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Hey everyone, Jordan here with 9 to 5 Toys, and that's right, we do have the Crossfade 2 Wireless Rolling Stones edition from V-Moda. Now, the bare bones of this really are exactly the same as the Crossfade 2 Wireless, so if you already know about that, then you'll probably know quite a bit about this. But we're going to go into some of the details and, offer what kind of features it has and talk about some of the design, and then at the end, you can figure out, whether or not it's something you want to pick up. So while you can already customize the base Crossfade 2 Wireless from V-Moda, this one, the Rolling Stones edition, has 3 different officially licensed little kind of logos you can get here on the side of the headphones. The example we have is the No Filter, which is a similar design to the classic Licks logo, but has a rougher looking edge to it. And then the third option is Tattoo You, which takes a similar look at the classic Licks livery, but adds some tattoo accents as well. And all 3 of these designs are on the same matte black base. And first off, let's cover some of the basics with the Crossfade 2 Wireless. This is a Bluetooth wireless pair of headphones. They do also have a 3.5mm port here in the bottom if you do want to run them analog with a wire. And these headphones do come with a 3.5mm cable. It is a smartphone cable, so it's that tip ring sleeve that's going to work with mobile devices to pass through both audio and microphone signals. And it also comes with a hardshell case that has a couple of handy compartments to house the cable, as well as the 3.5mm to 1/4" plug adapter. On the right side of the ear cup are all the controls. There is a little power switch. You flip that, the little light will come on, and then the power is turned on to the headphones. Now we mentioned there's that little port down here, the 3.5mm, and then up top on the side there are 3 different buttons to control media and pull up your voice assistant and accept or reject incoming calls as well. And then over on the left ear cup, the only thing that we have is a micro USB port. So a little bit of a bummer there that V-Moda is still using micro USB on here. So moving on to comfort, this is really one of the only areas where I can knock V-Moda with the Crossfade 2 Wireless. While the ear cushions and ear pads are plush and soft and comfortable, these are marketed as an over-ear headphones, which they would completely go over your ear and not sit on top of them. They are a little bit small for my ears, and I wouldn't necessarily say I have huge ears, but these do end up kind of sitting on top of them a little bit, which is more fatiguing than like a true over-ear pair of headphones. And V-Moda does offer a few different replacement cushions on their website. I think there's an on-ear, an over-ear, and an XL set of ear pads, so I'd be interested in trying some of those out, but in the stock form, I do find that these ear cushions are just a little bit too small for my ears. And we'll put it on real quick here, make sure I have it the right way. And it doesn't necessarily look, like they would be all that small, but the cushions do end up sitting on my ears a little bit. So just a little bit of a bummer there. And if you have smaller ears, this might not be an issue for you. But for me, this is definitely something that stands out. Otherwise, the headphones aren't overly heavy. There's plenty of cushion across the top here. And like I mentioned, the ear pads are nice and soft. It also doesn't have a ton of grip strength. It kind of feels like it's kind of in that sweet spot where it's not too loose and it's not too tight. So the only thing that doesn't get the highest marks for me is the size of the ear cushions on here and how they sit on my ears. And this overall design is something that V-Moda has had across, a huge line of crossfade headphones. So it's got this metal band kind of yoke that comes down here. Then there's a metal band that also goes through the headband, and it just feels, very solid. So like previous headphones, I think that the construction on here feels really good on the Crossfade 2 Wireless. But where these headphones really shine is in the sound profile. It has a nice, healthy boost in the low end, which makes these a very fun sounding pair of headphones. That deep, rich bass, they're just a lot of fun to listen to. And it isn't too much bass or too boomy or anything like that, but it's definitely powerful and just packs a little bit more punch and makes a lot of genres a lot of fun to listen to. Mids also stay clear and very present. They aren't pulled back at all. And so for me, listening to metal tracks like my go-to Mist by Protest the Hero, guitar sounded great. The bass was a little bit easier to pick out because of that extra boost in the low end. And yeah, like I said, these are just a blast to listen to. Overall, because of that kind of boost in the low end, I would say that these have kind of a darker sound to them, but it's nothing too dark. It doesn't sound too muddy. Highs are also clear and present as well. Yeah, just been an absolute pleasure to listen to. And throughout that fun, powerful sound, they keep some great clarity as well. So imaging is nice and clear throughout when you are listening to tracks with a lot of different instruments. They talk about having, you know, a super wide 3D soundstage. I don't know if I'd give it that necessarily. It's nothing, you know, to write home about when compared to a nice pair of open back headphones like the Philips Fidelio X3. But for a closed back pair of headphones, you know, Bluetooth headphones, I would say that it sounded pretty wide for what it is. And when you use these headphones with the included 3.5mm cable in here, so when it's analog and not using that Bluetooth connection, these are high-res audio certified. So what that means is that if you are using, you know, the correct equipment and files to get a high-res signal going all the way from your music track to the headphones, these will be able to reproduce that in a very clear way. I think that means that these, you know, can go up to at least 40,000 hertz, you know, when it comes to frequency response, so some nice big range in there. But that all depends on, you know, how you're listening to your audio. Even if you have this plugged into just your smartphone, you probably aren't going to realize, you know, most of those high-res tracks, but if you are using the right equipment, then this can make a big difference for that. For battery life, you can expect up to about 14 hours on the Crossfade 2 wireless, which is respectable. You know, it's nothing huge and out of this world, but you know, that's also a pretty decent number, kind of right in the middle of the pack. And like we already mentioned, unfortunately, there is that micro USB port on here for recharging the headphones. Another area where the headphones lose some points is with the Bluetooth microphone. I'll get the headphones turned on here and hooked up to my iPhone 8, and we'll record in the voice memos app so you can hear what it sounds like. But to me, it sounds pretty terrible, and I would definitely not recommend using this microphone when you are taking calls. All right, as you can see, we are recording through the voice memos app on here on my iPhone 8. I'll kind of tap around to hear where that microphone is, but it does not give a very good sound in my opinion. We'll see if you can hear that coming through. It does sound a little bit better when you use the cable because there is an inline microphone that kind of sits a little bit lower, and that sounds better. But for wireless calls, Bluetooth calls with a pair of headphones, I'll definitely not suggest these. All right, so now we're recording with that inline microphone. Get a little bit closer here so you can hear it. It sits pretty high up here close to the actual headphones, and so I do think that this sounds better than the built-in Bluetooth microphone. But yeah, hopefully this gives you a good example of what that sounds like. So overall, wrapping up here, I mean, the Crossfade 2 wireless headphones are a really solid pair of headphones. They sound great, I think they look good, you know, construction seems really solid. It's a little bit of a bummer about the ear cushions, you know, it'd be interesting to try those larger ones to see if that fixes that for me. But, you know, overall, these are a solid pair of headphones. You know, for $280, that can go a pretty long way in the audio world. There are some other great headphones in that price range. But if you are a Rolling Stones fan, you know, a diehard fan, and you want to pick up this limited edition, I don't think you'll be disappointed by it. The sound profile makes listening to music just a lot of fun, both in wireless and in that wired mode. All right, and that's going to wrap it up for our review of the V-Moda Crossfade 2 Wireless Rolling Stones edition. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments below. If you're looking for some other videos to watch, I'll link to the other V-Moda headphones that we've reviewed, and then also our most recent video. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9to5 Toys.